We're diving into a story that is, frankly, shocking. It's a case that has come spilling out from behind the walls of one of India's biggest, most trusted IT companies. This isn't just a corporate scandal. It's a story that starts with one employee's terrifying complaint and quickly spirals into a full-blown national security investigation.
So, that's the big question on everyone's mind, right? What was really going on behind the secured keycard doors of a global tech giant? The answer is, well, it's far more disturbing than you can probably imagine.
The story doesn't begin in some high-rise corporate boardroom. No, it starts in a much more grounded and frankly, more chilling place, a local police station. This is where the first crack in the facade appeared. Picture this. An employee of this major company walks into the station and starts to tell her story. And as she speaks, the atmosphere in the room changes. Even the most hardened, seasoned police officers, they were stunned. They knew right then and there this was not just another workplace dispute.
And here's why. The allegations were just explosive. She laid out a story of 4 years of relentless torture. She talked about repeated sexual exploitation and molestation by her colleagues, but it went even deeper. She claimed her religious beliefs were being systematically attacked and that there was an immense pressure campaign to force her to convert.
Now, you have to understand the timescale here. This wasn't a one-time incident or a bad week at the office. The complaint alleges a pattern of abuse that went on for 4 long years. All of this happening inside the company's own walls.
The police knew this case was a hornet's nest. To get to the truth, they couldn't just knock on doors and ask questions. They needed to do something drastic, something you'd honestly expect to see in a spy movie.
40. That's the number of days it took. The Nashik police launched a deep, covert operation that lasted 40 days, all to peel back the layers of what they were beginning to suspect was a highly organized and dangerous conspiracy.
So how did they pull this off? Well, as more women started coming forward with similar stories, the police made a bold move. They sent their own female officers into the company, undercover, posing as new employees. For 40 days, these officers worked from the inside, gathering evidence, experiencing the toxic environment firsthand, and what they found blew the case wide open. They confirmed the allegations and uncovered what looked like a wider syndicate. And what the undercover operation revealed was truly chilling. This wasn't just random harassment. Oh no, this was a systematic, calculated strategy. It was a syndicate with a very specific playbook for targeting and controlling their victims. Here's how they allegedly did it. They'd look for women who were vulnerable, maybe going through a tough time with family or personal stress. Then, they'd approach with fake sympathy. Often, they'd use other female employees to make that first friendly contact, to build trust. Once a victim was in, they were added to secret WhatsApp groups. And that's where the real manipulation, the alleged brainwashing, began, slowly feeding them content meant to tear down their existing beliefs and build them back up in a new image. And if you want to know just how effective this alleged brainwashing was, just listen to this. This is a quote from one of the victims defending one of the main accused to her own family. She said, "He loves me immensely and I can do anything for him. I am ready to change my religion." She was so deeply manipulated, the fact that the man was already married didn't even matter to her anymore. Her family watched her completely transform. A woman who usually wore jeans was now only in full-sleeved salwar suits. The scarf she used to wear for sun protection was now worn like a hijab. She stopped going to her temple, stopped wearing a tilak, and started performing namaz several times a day in the office prayer room. It was a total and allegedly engineered transformation. With evidence mounting, the investigation exploded. The focus wasn't just on the individuals anymore. Suddenly, it was about the corporation itself. And very quickly, this escalated into a matter of serious national concern. And right in the middle of this, you have 2 completely different stories. On one hand, you have the employees who claim they went to HR again and again, begging for help, only to be ignored or have their complaints buried. But on the other hand, once the story hit the news, the company released an official statement saying they have a zero-tolerance policy and that the accused have been suspended. It's a classic case of he said, she said, but on a massive corporate scale. This right here, this was the critical turning point. When investigators started connecting the dots, an organized network, systematic propaganda, potential radicalization, they realized this was way beyond corporate malpractice. This wasn't just a workplace issue anymore. It was a potential threat to the nation. And that's when the heavy hitters were called in. The case was immediately escalated. We're talking about India's top security agencies, the NIA, the Maharashtra ATS, and the Intelligence Bureau.
The fact that they're all involved tells you just how serious the government is taking this.
So now, with these national agencies on the case, the investigation is enormous. But some of the key players are still missing in action, and there are some huge looming questions that still don't have answers.
Police believe the main conspirator, the one they call the lady captain of this whole operation, is an employee named Nida Khan. They say she was the mastermind who orchestrated the entire strategy of targeting and manipulating female colleagues. Right now, she is on the run, and there's a massive hunt to find her.
And these are the million-dollar questions the investigation is scrambling to answer. Where was the money coming from? Was there external funding for this? Are the people they've caught just pawns, with other masterminds still hiding in the shadows? And maybe the most terrifying question of all, is this same module operating in other big corporate offices? The answers could determine if serious anti-terror laws get brought into this.
You know, we hear the word radicalization a lot. It's the process where someone's beliefs are pushed to the absolute extreme. What's so jarring here is that investigators are exploring whether this was happening systematically, not on some fringe website, but right inside the gleaming offices of a corporate giant.
And that's the final, deeply unsettling question this whole affair leaves us with. Has radicalization, a threat we often associate with the fringes of society, actually managed to infiltrate the educated, professional corporate world? This case is a massive wake-up call, forcing all of us to think about where the line between the workplace and our nation's security really is.